no good. Hey everybody. We might have a few little issues here. I'm just checking out a few details. Sorry if I look tired, because I'm tired. I am just wondering what's happening with a few little things here. Let me just check that out. We'll plug in the Ethernet cable on this computer. This is the first time that I use this brand new computer, and I see that it's not okay. How does it look? Just want to see here, because I have a yellow line. It's supposed to be green. So we'll try it like this. If there's anything, guys, let me know, and I'll restart the stream in a different way. Because this is a new computer. So it's the first time that I'm actually streaming from this computer. Hopefully it's going to be okay. So, oh, it's back to green now. Okay, hey everybody, welcome aboard. I'm sorry if I look tired, because I am really tired. Yesterday was my brother's birthday, and that meant that I came back home very early this morning. So I probably look like a guy that has been partying a little too much, but it's nice to be here. And in about 35 minutes from now, we have the International Space Station that will decode slow scan TV live. There's a pass about 35 minutes from now for over Montreal. So hey everybody. And yeah, yesterday there was no show. A lot of people was wondering. I posted on a few groups that there was no show yesterday, and what happened is yesterday was my brother's birthday, so I had a birthday party at his place. So of course that also meant that I didn't do the show yesterday for that reason. I came back home early this morning after I don't know how many beers. And so we're exceptionally Saturday, but we'll be back on the Friday schedule starting next week. Hope everybody's all right. And I'm streaming from a brand new computer. This is a gaming laptop that I purchased this week. I already see differences, like the CPU is like, you know, on this one, which was my old, the CPU would go up to about 70% when streaming, and on this one it's like 25%. It's really shows that it's more powerful. So I hope everything's alright, and we'll go through the show today. So this is an Acer Nitro 5 laptop, gaming laptop, and I had to upgrade the computer because that one was getting to the limits of what I could do. And so you know, when I say that your donations are important, that's one of the reasons. You got to buy equipment from time to time to upgrade everything. So hope everybody's all right. And my name is Gilles, located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We have this show normally on Fridays, so on Friday at 2000 UTC, but except it's really an exception that we got it today, Saturday today. So really nice to have all of you on board as usual. And of course we're going to talk about radio, and hopefully I'm going to fall asleep while doing the live show. Cheers, I got a beer. They say that a beer brings you back to normal after a big party, so let's hope it works. So in the chat room, Bobby Burgess, nice to have you here. Terry Cook, KF7BQ in Montana, nice to have you on board. Jerry DX, hello there. Noah 15. Yeah, Noah 15 was for a while a little problematic. It often had problems, so they probably decommissioned Noah 15. So Noah 18 and Noah 19 are left in the VHF. Brent, nice to have you on board from Brockville, Ontario, Canada. PLF Radio, nice to have you on board. Bonjour et bienvenue de la France. Calvin, nice to have you here, my friend. Today's Figures, nice to have you on board. Yeah, I was looking at the shirt and I was like, hey, I'm gonna wear this shirt today. Feels like vacation or something, or Hawaiian, or kind of nice. Kevin Wood, nice to have you on board from Nova Scotia. W5BL, nice to have you on board from Central Texas. Jersbound, nice to have you on board from New Jersey. Buster Brown, nice to have you here. Vaults, nice to have you on board from Lithuania. Andy RC, nice to have you on board, my friend. So yeah, yesterday there was no show, that's why you didn't get notification. No show yesterday. Like I said, it's an exception to the rule. We'll be back at the Friday schedule on Friday. Imad Abbas, bonsoir et bienvenue. Nice to have you here. Joe Sabourin, nice to have you on board. Is it Friday? Feels like Friday. I'm all confused because I just went to bed at like 5 a.m. this morning, so Artist Crafter Kitchen, nice to have you on board, my friend. Randy in Riverside, California, KN6BZG, nice to have you here. Artist Crafters in Massachusetts. Party went very well. We maybe drank a little too many beers, but crazy here. Keegan, nice to have you here, my friend. X80Xer. René Charbonnier, nice to have you on board, my friend, from the Netherlands. What's the CPU and memory in my computer? So this is a 9th generation Core i5 computer with SSD. So I got 512 gigabyte SSD, and it's coupled with a 1 terabyte regular hard drive. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it has a dedicated NVIDIA GTX 1050 graphics processor for gaming, and it's so fast. I still can't believe it when I compare it to that. It's just crazy fast. All I can say is amazing. So and it shows. I mean, I do stuff now with, I'm talking to you guys, I see the stream, and I see it just takes like this chunk of CPU compared to doing a stream with that one that was like using 75% CPU all the time while streaming. Ciao, Stumbled on You House, nice to have you on board, my friend. Lee Burkett, nice to have you on board. J'ai Jolie, bonjour et bienvenue. Mon cher Jean-Marc, from downtown Montreal, or roughly downtown Montreal. Nice to have you here. And what else do we have? I probably look really tired. I was looking at myself in the app for the streaming, and I was like, oh God, I look like a cat that stayed outside in the rain. So so it's an i5 Buster Brown, not an i7. 16 gigabytes RAM, and it's darn fast. Andy Coley, nice to have you here, my friend. Shane Kalassi, nice to have you here. Jerry DX says Acer Nitro 5 laptop has lots of bad reviews on Amazon. Hope you have a good. I have a good one here. I don't look at the reviews that much because there's a lot of bad reviews for different little things, but I'm very happy right now. And Kagri, nice to have you here from Turkey, my friend. What else do we have? Chris Freitas, nice to have you on board from Southwest Florida. Finally managed to get his RTL SDR and GQRX working natively on Chrome OS. Oh, good. That's cool. That's cool. That's really, really cool. 3830 Radio Man, nice to have you here. Rufus Newt from Haldimand County, Ontario. Paula's Records, nice to have you here from London in the UK. Pretty cool. So, like I said, we're streaming from a new laptop, and I hope that everybody's enjoying what we do. So, for those that still don't know, the International Space Station is actually going to, or is transmitting up to tomorrow, August 4th, some slow scan TV pictures. So I will actually start the software here, ISS SSTV. So right now my icon right here is connected to my desktop, and we will of course do a decode of pictures. Already I had one very nice decode yesterday. So if we look here, it's just history. Let's go back. So yesterday, this is the very beautiful decode that I had for one of the pictures on the slow scan TV. So it's kind of nice, and we of course are going to decode another picture. The pass of the International Space Station is in 20 some minutes. So here it's at 20 starts at 20:32 UT. So it's a 51-degree pass that we're having here. So hopefully we'll be getting the slow scan TV and maybe decoding some nice pictures over there. So you guys gonna be cool to check that out. Got Orbitron running here. That is actually following the ISS. That's somewhere here in the Pacific Ocean right now, and it's coming. Of course, I see the trace of where it's coming to Montreal. So we'll divert a little bit off of the shortwave stuff, but we will be, of course, checking out the International Space Station and decoding, hopefully decoding a picture. Jerry K from North Carolina, nice to have you here. Kimberly K6YYL, nice to have you on board from California. Speaking about a cat, one emaciated kitten came to us almost 2 weeks ago. I named her Peachy. She is maybe 4 to 5 months old. She is doing so much better now. Cool. Cool. Take care of that cat. Take care of that cat. There's so many cats out there that are abandoned, and it's just crazy. Paul is somewhere outside where I don't know. I called him a few times in the past hour, and I don't know where he is. He goes out and he disappears for like 2-3 hours, and suddenly he appears. So maybe I should leave the door in the back open just in case. Question. So the video is good, the audio is good. You guys are okay with it? I look fine for someone who was on the clothesline all night. Yeah, oh man, I came back home. I think it was actually 6:30 when I came back home this morning, and I was tired. I went to bed. And boop, just fell asleep like this. Woke up, and it was 2:45 p.m. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta do a show now. I gotta, get up. So I got up, drank like 2 cups of coffee, and hurried up, and took a shower, and I was doing this, and I was like, oh man, I probably look so bad. So it's crazy. So we're supposed to have thunderstorms here, I believe. I was looking at the weather. René Charbonnier, I have tested the Alenco DXR8 receiver for several weeks, and I can tell you that this is really a good thing. I hear a lot of reviews of the Alenco DXR8, and I gotta say they they really look pretty good, honestly. And I've not really had, the only reviews that I have that people comment a little negatively is the fact that the buttons are maybe a little cramped because of the front panel is kind of small. So some people complain about maybe the buttons being kind of too close together. But overall, on performance, the DXR8 is, I see good reviews most of the time. Keegan is receiving WWV, the internal antenna. He's using the Ethon Grenadier Edition Field BT radio. Cool. What else do we have? WF7I Homebrew, nice to have you here. Says video seems a little low def here. Not sure if it's an internet situation or what. Because here I am at 1080p. I'm full 1080p. And let me just check out here. It is a little weird looking, I have to say. It is a little weird looking. I'll try to do, because when I look at this, I look at what I see here, and you, I think you are right, there's kind of a little definition problem. I have the impression, or is it because of the, I'm trying to see, is it because of the, I'm just going to do this 2 seconds. Maybe it's more of the focus that's the problem and not the definition. The autofocus of the camera isn't, it's kind of focusing on me. Are you guys getting 1080p? By curiosity, I want to know, because here the output is good. I'm at 4,000 kilobits per second. You guys should be getting 1080p. I'm just curious. But this is the same camera, Jared. The sound might be different because I'm not sure if it's a microphone or, but the camera is the same. So it's just a question of playing around with my settings, probably. I'll have to do some tests and check it out. So I'll check it out, Kimberly, for the for your cat. I'm gonna see that after the show. Joe Sombro Newhouse said set up SDR to receive slow scan TV images. Discover the SSTV VHF contest happening now. Oh, really? That's kind of fun. Neil Thune, it's nice to have you here, Neil. M0CJM in the UK. Low hum, yeah, that's possible that I'm having. I'm gonna have to check out a few details, and yeah, I'll check that out. I haven't. I'll have to play around with settings. That's definitely the case, because this computer really, you know, on this one I had to put it at 720. I had to force at 720, but anyways, we'll be checking it out. It's a question of just playing around with the settings, because it's the same camera. It's a Logitech C920. So it's probably, we'll have to, anyways, for now, as long as it's kind of okay for now, but I'll have to check that out for sure. So yeah, I could see that there's a slight, just when I look at it here, there's kind of a slight fuzz, especially when I look at the screen here. So we'll have to play around with it, and we'll sort it out at some point. We'll sort it out at some point. Just gonna check something here, guys. Hope it doesn't source settings. Source. So my capture is the camera. Oh, now I get it. Let me check that out here, guys. I'm going to do a little something. Capture device size. Okay. We're going to try another size. Does it work? Well, can you guys tell me if wait for the stream to get it running? But can you guys tell me if this is better? Out of curiosity. I may be a little weird in the movement, but is that better? Because I did see that the capture size was different. Robert Babcock, nice to have you here. Matthew Kelleher, nice to have you here. What else do we have? Chris Alpha Tango, nice to have you on board. Okay, so it's better now. I changed the, but the FPS, yeah, that's what I see. The FPS, the frame rate is not as good. It's not as good. But what I'll do is I'll choose a middle. I'll choose a middle because definitely I see that there's a slight. So let me just check this out for a second. We'll do a last change. And then we'll leave it alone for the rest of the show. So let's do it like this. There should be a rest. And it should be actually better now. So we'll leave it like this. And hopefully it's better for you guys also. But I do see that it's clearer on my screen too. And I do seem to be moving more naturally. So hopefully this is good. So I'm using Wirecast. I try OBS Studio at some point. What else do we have? What else do we have? So it looks good. Cool. Louis, nice to have you on board. Yeah, but my settings are not on YouTube. My settings are in Wirecast. So, Bro Weaver, nice to have you on board. Yeah, I'll. Here it looks natural, so I don't know. It should be good. Should be good. Fastlow, nice to have you on board. It's a question of playing around. So I'll have to upgrade. I'm going to upgrade a few things, and I'm going to. One of the things I want to do is upgrade the camera to something more interesting. I'll play around with that. So International Space Station coming up in a little more than 10 minutes, and we're going to we'll be checking it out. Yeah, the show must go on, as they say. And just make sure you are Jerry DX, that you are on streaming at least at 720p. So Matt is 2 minutes till the ISS, the International Space Station. Somebody was asking, what did I see? Somebody was asking what software to use. Yeah, I use SSTV, Brent, for decoding. SSTV is what I use here in Windows. It works great. Another app that I love and works great also, I was I decoded yesterday evening using Robot 36. If you have an Android phone or tablet, Robot 36 is a great app for decoding the slow scan TV pictures. So that's something to check out. So ISS SSTV is great. So I'm gonna close this. We're going to put the radio on 145.800. Oops, 145.8. And I will do a little something because there's a little problem with one of the things. There's a wireless charger that I use that creates noise in the VHS range. So here goes. I've unplugged the wireless charger because it creates some noise in the VHF range. I could see actually the needle moving up and down all the time with that wireless charger. What else do we have? So it's nice to see you guys anyways. Oh yeah, it's true, PLF radio, multi-PSK. Multi-PSK is decodes slow scan TV. I never tried it. I would need to try that out at some point. Neil Toon says 18 minutes for a pass in the UK. Yeah, I could see it here. I see that it's going to, once it's done a pass over in Montreal here, it's going to you guys in Europe. It's going to pass over what I guess is Spain. So you guys in Europe are going to get a pass also. You guys will be able to decode. Matthew Keller recording and will play back the ISS transmissions later. I can get the best decode if I do that way rather than chance it live. The International Space Station, yeah, it's pretty much it's on the west coast of the United States, lower west coast, just above Mexico. So your app is okay. Yeah, fast load 145.800, 145.800, plus or minus Doppler shift. So new chip for radios. New chip for radio. Let me check that out. Okay, the silicon integrated new chip. Oh, supports DRM too. I didn't see that. Oh, interesting. 529. Silicon integrated for 79X7 devices. First automatic radio tuner supporting DRM standard. Oh, this is interesting. In addition to introducing new DRM capable tuners, Silicon Labs is an InSync. It's SI479X 12456 tuners with unique SDR friendly technology, effectively transforming these devices into hybrid SDR tuners. You know, this new chip could change what DRM is all about, and if some new receivers are actually made with it, we might have low-cost DRM receivers. That sounds interesting. And you know, if you look at the 4730 something, the performance of that chip is, if it's as good as the 4734, 35, could really make a very interesting Very interesting receivers actually, and decode DRM, and you know it could do it at a low price. This is maybe what they were talking on WWCR. Ask WWCR. They were talking about low-cost DRM portable receivers that might be coming. So maybe they were talking about that chip, and maybe it could bring, for the first time, DRM decode to a low price. If at a reasonable price, I would buy a receiver with that chip in it to check it out. So it's kind of interesting, really interesting. Radioactive, nice to have you here. Says not set up for SSTV today, but is listening to local search and rescue mission and listening to 60 meters, channel 2. So the International Space Station is close to be here. We're gonna really check out. I'm gonna put this in the receive option here, and I'll open up this panel here, and hopefully we'll have a good decode of the ISS when it passes over. My tuning steps are no good. So I'll put my tuning steps, start like that here, and hopefully it's going to be okay. But that chip looks very promising, PLF Radio. Honestly, that silicon integrated chip might be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Rekray from Turkey, nice to have you here. Levi Nathan, nice to have you on board. Yesterday I canceled a dinner to be here and you disappear. Shalom from Israel. Shalom, my friend from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So clock is not totally set, so it could be a little off here, but probably a few seconds off. And you're watching the Shortwave show. We are waiting for the International Space Station that is just barely starting to make a pass here. This is going to be interesting. We're gonna check out if we decode a picture. Yeah, well, they're talking about car radio and stuff like that, vaults, but I would definitely see that chip making its way in receivers, portable receivers, and the 4734 chips are not sold at a very high price. But we'll see, as time goes by. Sometimes when the chip is new, often it's very expensive. But if they start selling and creating a lot of radios, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. The problem still with DRM is the signal to noise ratio, which needs to be really, really good. Here we go. It's very, very low at the moment. It's only 7 degrees. When it gets strong enough, it's going to start decoding there. At some point it should decode. Pillar Freighter, the ship has DAB in it. Maybe in the future there will be radio with long wave, medium wave. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. International Space Station. Noisy decode. Well, the end is clear. Hopefully the next picture will be nice. So we'll wait for the start. We'll wait for the start of the next picture. WF7I Homebrew, do you have a stash of old radio magazine? Just unloaded 40 years worth of ham magazines at a swap meet this morning. CQ and QSTs. Only do digital for radio mags now. Save on storage space. I used to have, I probably had like 7 or 8 years worth of Popular Communications, of Monitoring Times, some QST magazines, and at one point I just sent all of that to at some point I went to I sent it to the recycling plant. It's like, these are heavy. When I moved here, actually, I departed from all of these magazines, and I totally prefer having, you know, digital versions of the mags. Absolutely, for sure. You can get a lot of these magazines now online, and you know, I like it because you can go back to, you know, the 80s and look at the magazines from the back in the days. It's crazy. So pretty crazy. Jerry K, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Is that the message? Fast load, good receive here too. Matt says, what number image was that? I don't know. Where's the? I got 1012. It's the number on the bottom right. 1012. So hopefully the next picture, it should start pretty soon. Here we go. Wow, this is perfect. Perfect. Look at that. Really nice. 11, 12. So this is picture 11 out of 12, so that's the thing. Remembering Oren Garriott, W5LFL, Columbia Space Lab 1. This is nice. STS 9, November 28 to December 8, 1983. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, a little bit of fade out. Yeah, probably the, you know, the antenna patterns. What antenna are you using, Fastload? I don't remember what you have for VHF. I have I'm using a mobile vertical, which is a wideband VHF UHF antenna. So it's moving away, so I don't think we'll have the time for the next picture. But we'll still check out just in case. Next pass is at 6:15 at 22:15 UT. So it's a very low pass, 27 degrees, but we'll see. We'll see. So Roberto Rojas, nice to have you here. Chin chin. The Comet GP3. Okay. Okay. I was looking at the S meter on my ICOM, and at the highest peak, the signal reached S9 from the International Space Station. So that's the end tail. It's only 3 degrees high right now. That will be way too noisy to get something. Pretty much in the noise. Well, that's the important thing, Fastload, is to really get, you know, as long as it's free of noise, so that you can have a good decode. Chris, you were pretty much out of reach on this one, because it was passing north of us. At the closest point, it was actually to the north, pretty much in the middle of the province of Quebec. So you probably had, if the trace would go to Florida, it would have probably been very, very low pass for Florida, Chris. The next pass is going to be, let me just check it out here. The next pass is going to be another one to the north, so I don't know. I think you're not necessarily in the greatest moment for your passes there in Florida. Pretty crazy. Plus 0 W5LFL. Nice to have you on board from Enid, Oklahoma. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Bobby Berger says, I will have a 31-degree pass before the event is over tonight at about 0350 UT. Here I'm having, for the rest of the evening, I still have 3 other passes of the ISS today. So one at 22:15 UT, which is 6:15 p.m. One at 23:51 UT, which is almost 7:51 p.m. And the last one at 9:30 p.m., which is 0130 UT. So I guess I'll have a little bit of fun doing a little bit of shortwave and tuning into the different passes of the ISS. So for those that wonder, this goes on till tomorrow. It's ending tomorrow. It's ending tomorrow. So you know, if you wanna catch it, do it now, because tomorrow, at some point tomorrow, it's gonna stop. HuntPopcom, nice to have you here from Central Pennsylvania. Nice to have you on board. You guys are watching, of course, the radio show. So we're gonna leave that running, and hopefully, maybe I'll still be live. If I'm not dead from exhaustion, I should still. We might still be live at the next International Space Station pass. So I gotta say, it's a little difficult for me today. With going to bed at 6:30 this morning, I am tired, but we'll try to do our best. So anything interesting on shortwave? Let's shut this down for now. I was listening to 15770 WRMI. We have Radio Romania, I believe, now 13650. So you guys, by the way, in Europe, the International Space Station is pretty much there now. All of Europe will have the possibility of decoding pretty much. So if you guys want to try it right now, it's the trace is getting there. So here Neil is receiving it in the UK. So that's kind of cool. PLF Radio says, so doing SSTV decoding now, it's like doing the VHF UHF show. Kind of. We're mixing in the VHF UHF and the shortwave, for sure. Gary Stewart, nice to have you here, Gary from the UK. Nice to have you on board, my friend. And nice to have everybody here. So once again, for those that joined, I wasn't here yesterday because I had it was my brother's birthday party. So we'll check that out. So Bobby Burgess, let me check that out. So this is nice. This is Bobby Burgess decodes of slow scan pictures. So we have some nice little pictures here from his decodes. Pretty clean. First one's a little rough, but the other ones are really clean. Really nice. I was so afraid that something would not work right because at the first reports that came out were saying that the audio was too low. And if you guys remember, last time the International Space Station had done slow scan TV, the audio was so low that it was almost impossible to decode anything. Ronald, nice to have you here, Ronald. Coaster 2301 Productions, nice to have you on board. Says picked up part of 812 and I got 912. Cool. These are nice. I mean, that picture, the last picture that I did was amazingly cool. But even with the Biofang UV5R PLF radio, you should be able. One thing that will help is going outside. If you have difficulty receiving it, go outside. It's going to be easier. So Neil Toom's got the code here of 112 image. Cool. Can you send it by email, Neil? We'll check it out. I'll show everybody. Official shortwave radio at gmail.com. I'll post the email here. If you guys want to share your decodes of pictures of the ISS, send them to the email official shortwave radio at gmail.com, and I'll show everybody your pictures in a few minutes. Because I think it's going to be a lot of it's going to be interesting to share that with everybody on so DE1DJK, nice to have you here, my friend, from Germany. Joseph Ivankovich, nice to have you here. W8JXQ. And have you seen or know anything about the Texan PL3988T? No. I don't have a lot of info on that. Let me check it out here. PL3988T. Let's just check it out here. Texan L39880T. DSP digital AM FM shortwave. Oh, this is nice. It's kind of a cool little looking radio. Kind of a cool looking radio. $150. It's still it's expensive. Texan PL398BT. Okay, BT. So it's a digital AM FM long wave, shortwave, I guess. Does it have shortwave? Yeah, shortwave with DSP and Bluetooth capabilities. So it has Bluetooth capabilities. This is the new thing. Radios with Bluetooth now. Dual speakers with that gives FM broadcast in stereo. Oh, that's nice. Cool looking little radio, actually. It's a cool looking radio. It's the first time I actually see this model. It looks interesting. It really looks interesting. Huh. Really nice. What else do we have? Lee Burkett. Joe, I'm thinking of getting an Acer for MS-DOS Windows 7. Yeah, I looked at a million different computers, honestly, and I decided that that's the one that I wanted. Robert T. Bush, nice to have you here. KI4RMR from Florida, within viewing distance of Cape Canaveral in the Kennedy Space Center. Got my favorite shortwave receiver, Sony ICF 2010. Cool, my friend. Nice to have you here. Maglone, nice to have you on board. Nick Amendo, nice to have you from Romania. PLF Radio is receiving the SSTV signal with an angle of 22 degrees on his Biofang UV5R. Cool. Yeah, well, D1 DJK. There was no show yesterday. I was at my brother's birthday party, and that's why the show is today. I pushed it today for that reason. And let me just fill up my beer. Beer number 2. I should probably go and check out if Paul the cat is there. So a little too much. So it's really nice. So we just decoded a picture of the International Space Station. So really nice to see this. And we'll check out if anybody. Okay, Neil has sent the pictures he decoded. Oh, this is nice. Oh, really a lot of them too. So Neil is showing us his decodes of slow scan TV from the International Space Station. And here they are. Really nice decodes. A bunch of pictures. Really nice. Really nice decodes. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. And we have SJP Gaming that says SSTV photos I received in San Diego, California. First image was received with a Yaesu FT60R and diamond antenna, SRRH77CA. Second was received with the RTL SDR with dual telescopic antennas. And that's what you've got. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Nice. Cool to have you guys sharing your SSTV decodes. With us on this Saturday show. Pretty cool. Bro Weaver says that Texan PL398BT has a bandwidth switch. Oh, okay. Kind of interesting. What else do we have? Neil Toom says, thanks for sharing the pictures. My pleasure, my friend Neil. I've learned something. There are broadcast announcements. Yeah, there's a lot of these little things. I received one from, I think it was Atlantic 2000, the first one that we see on the list, by email. Somebody sent me, I should post more of these. Somebody sent me the other day a list of some upcoming broadcasts, including upcoming broadcasts of pirate stuff, and I should definitely talk about it. Okay, Coaster 2301. I was wondering who it was, so thanks for sharing your pictures, Coaster. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, for sure. Matt Kelleher. Here's Matt Kelleher as a moderator. And hey, might as well add Neil Thumes to a moderator. How about it? Neil, for moderator status now. Cool. Cool. Bro Weaver, what are your social media contacts? Facebook, Twitter, and I mostly use Facebook and Twitter, honestly. I don't really. I do have Instagram, but I don't use it at all. On for those that want to join in on Twitter, I'm Shortwave Radios. At Shortwave Radios. Yeah, you've earned the trust, Neil. You've earned the trust over time. Hey, Olivia, nice to have you on board from Sudden, Quebec. Nice to have you here. And I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. I will just go and check out if Paul the Cat is there. I know you guys want to see him, so I'll keep the door open. Paul the Cat is in the house, so hopefully he's gonna come and say hi to everybody after he has eaten what I gave him as food. So already an hour into the show. Hey, Mr. Paul, come over. And he's here. So Mr. Paul the Cat is here, and here he comes. Come on. Here we go. Mr. Paul is in the house. And here we go. Here we go. Hello, Mr. Paul. Wants to say hi to everybody. Mr. Paul. He meowed like, you know, hey, it's been a long time since I was outside. What are you doing? It was just funny. Coaster 2301, the International Space Station could be broadcasting more SSTV in about an hour in North America, possibly. Yep, they are. There's a pass here. The next pass is around in an hour and 15 minutes, roughly. An hour and 15 minutes. What else do we have? Keegan says, nothing heard from the ISS yet. Olivia, TG, hold my beer. Nice to have you here, Olivia. D1 DJK, Paul seems to be outdoors with the Texan R9012. Yeah, possibly. So you've been out, okay? You gotta wait for the pass, the next pass, Keegan. So in your area, their next pass is going to be in... probably going to be like about 20 minutes before me, something like that. So you should have a pass around in about an hour's time, roughly, for receiving it, Keegan. PLF Radio, HM01, 16180 coming in. Let's check it out. 16180. And I am... am I getting anything? Not getting anything here. 16180. So PLF Radio is receiving Cuban numbers. Chris Alpha Tango holding 2 beers. Keegan has a root beer. So Matt has just emailed the codes. Let's check it out. And Matt... 2 pictures of the codes, and here they are. Here they are. Pretty nice. Pretty nice, the codes. Well, Paul is saying, hey, pet me, human. Mr. Paul. Everybody's happy to see you. David Arden, KJ4CMY, nice to have you on board, joining in from his phone. Patrick Manny, nice to have you here. Pretty cool. Trevor Cooper, I want to buy a Yisu FT 2DR. Want to know if it can go SSB to monitor M-band. He's in St. Lucia. Anybody can answer if that receiver does single sideband? Yeah, Paul is huge. He's really huge. Olivia has her Tomcat pitch black. Pretty cool. Greg Walker, nice to have you here. Just got an Icom ICR30. Now need wideband antenna advice. Yeah, there are several types of antennas, but for a device like that, often what I use, like the one I have on my R20, which is a wideband telescopic, which covers really a wide range of frequencies. And what's nice with a telescopic is that you can adjust the size of the antenna to kind of match the wavelength, to try to make it better. But there's a lot of different little antennas that you might want to check out. Levi Nathan says somebody tried a Bonito Mini Web German antenna. Cool, Keegan. Be nice to see a video of your decode. Jerry K, no beer here. A little vodka and cranberry. Cool. Cheers. Cheers, Chris. That sounds just great. Pink Moscato Champagne. Yeah, Olivia, the bad Russians are getting them out there. D1DJK says on 5840 African music on World Music Radio from Denmark. Yeah, he's great. Keegan says, today marks 65 years since my dad, W9JEF, became a licensed AM radio operator. August 3rd, 1954. Oh, wow. Olivia wants to pet Mr. Paul. Matthew is going to the Rockies Giants game in a bit with his daughter and mother. We'll maybe get a beer there. Cool. Yeah, these are expensive at these places. It's like at the Bell Center here when we go for a concert or a game of the Montreal Canadiens hockey team. The beers are $12.50, which is like what? $12.50 for a beer? Well, there's cat hair everywhere, including on my laptop. So on that, there's a slight trace on 16180, but I'm not getting HM01 really over here. So you're watching the Shortwave radio show. Hope everybody is enjoying the show and that I don't look too tired. And of course, playing around with my new laptop. So I'm just gonna do a little quick self-promotion here. What do you want? He's trying to find a way to kind of, you know, cuddle more, which is kind of nice. I think he missed me. Hey, little kitty. I miss you too. I miss you too. Yeah. There's a little cat. Cat hair in the beer. Yeah, that probably a few of them. That I don't see right now. He really wants to cuddle. It's incredible. He's like, it's almost like he didn't see me for a long time. So, you know, I gotta buy new equipment. I bought a new laptop, and if you guys want to help out in, you know, what I do, don't forget that you can give me a little something. PayPal.me/shortwave, or just send it to the Yahoo email that you see here. And every donation helps, and every donation is appreciated. I have to upgrade my equipment, and this week included a new laptop. I had to. So, you know, there's some money being spent to be able to stay and be live. So, if you guys want to help out, it's much appreciated. John McClure, nice to have you here. D1DJK has Grease on 9420. Let's check that out. Yeah, good signal. Grease is always packing a good signal. 9420. 9420. Seems like a slow day. Not many questions. It's summertime, many outside, and congrats on the laptop. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is. You know, and it's not the usual day. A lot of people probably tried last night because, you know, they're used to me being here at 20 UT on Friday. So, you know, probably a lot of people not really kind of surprised that I'm here. 9445. Let's check out All India Radio. There's a little PP signal there, but very weak. I haven't received All India Radio well in a long time. I used to have an interesting this. I used to have a pretty good reception in general of all India radio, and lately it's been really bad. I haven't been receiving it well, so it's kind of sad because I kind of like listening to all India radio. Olivia says, my 2 cats, 1 female, a semi-feral. I can pet them much. Can't pet them much. Yeah, not all cats are kind of want to be pet and want to be close. Some just don't care. PLF Radio has Radio France 7205. I'm gonna try it. I don't know if I'm going to get it here. 7205, there's a very weak signal. I definitely can hear something, but it's kind of weak. I do get China Radio from Albania, China Radio International English 7285. There must be some kind of CW contest. There's tons of CW signals on 40 meters. Keegan 9420, nothing here. Vincent Dean Boyce, nice to have you here. Newbie from New Jersey, thanks for getting me started. Watched many of your vids. Thank you very much, Vincent. Nice to have you here. A1DJK says all India radio here 33333. That's a simple code. Olivia, you can donate on PayPal. So if you have a PayPal account, you go to paypal.me/shortwave or simply to the Yahoo email. If you are not on there, you can actually also go and become a patron on patreon.com/radioandcomputers. And if you fear anything electronic, since you're in Quebec, you can send me an email. And anybody else, by the way, that doesn't want to use electronic ways of payment because you're scared, you can send me by postal mail something. So Olivia, you can send me a little short message on officialshortwaveradio@gmail and ask me for my postal address, and you can send me a check. And for those that are international, you can ask me for my postal mail and send me a international a postal money order, but it has to be an international postal money order, and those I can change in whatever currency you want to send it. It doesn't matter, they do the conversion here, and you can send it by snail mail. So that's a few little things, a few ways of donating. WF7I, just suggestion, you may want to list the donation web links and email info under the video description. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, WF7I. That is also a good idea. Good night, René Charbonnier. And always nice to have you on board. PLF Radio says CRI on 7225. Patrick Manny says, I can tell you are using the new laptop to stream. Looks, sounds very good. Thank you very much. And see, I'm still using the same camera, which is the Logitech C920. But I'm still going to tweak it a little bit because there's a few things I'm not super happy about. D1DJK 3975 AM shortwave radio in English, Relay Germany. Cool. To hear that. And so on PayPal, Olivia, what happens is you create an account, and you can do donations either by linking directly to a bank account that you have or a credit card. And what happens is when you're on PayPal, so they ask you where or how to donate. So you say you just donate to the Yahoo email that I just posted. On Patreon, you can set up a way of donating a little something every month. I got 11 patrons that give me a little something every month. So it all depends on how you want to do it. And like I said, the simplest way, you can just send me an email and say, hey, what's your postal address, and send me either a check if you're here. So you got PayPal, Olivia? So when you go on PayPal, just say you're going to send it, and send it to this email. So when you're asked to where you're going to send it, you just say you send it to this email, and that's going to send me the money through PayPal. D1 DJ K says my reception usually Electronics S350DL telescopic. Gary Thornton, nice to have you here. I don't have a shortwave radio yet. Plan to buy one with SSB. Please recommend the best choice near Toronto. Thanks. I would say that, you know, the XH Data D808 is a great choice. XH Data D808. Texan PL 660 or 6, but that's also a great choice. You're in Toronto. You should go and have a peek in at Radio World in Toronto, maybe. Also, you might. They do have a few portable receivers there with single sidebands. Brett Wayne, KC2 and XP, nice to have you on board from Salamanca, New York. And sent International Space Station pictures. Let's check them out. There we go. Oh, you got a nice set here. So this is what Brett, sorry, has sent us in pictures. Pretty nice. Look at these clean the codes. Very, very nice. Very nice. Great set of pictures too. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thanks for sharing. Really nice pictures there. Really nice pictures. I can tell you that. Okay, Olivia. Cool. And thanks for anybody that have donated. Of course, as always. Rock the Tech Guy, nice to have you here. Anyone noticing poor shortwave conditions this afternoon? It doesn't seem too bad here, as I'm looking at some of the signals. But you know, one of the things that a lot of people are having difficulty understanding in propagation, in the summertime, midday is often not the best time for reception. But as we're moving on slowly. You know, we're already into early August, so propagation is slowly changing now. We're getting into the, you know, getting close to the equinox, and fall is, you know, just a little more than a month away. The propagation is changing as we're going into that period. Do you want the JK depending on how much money you want to spend? Yeah, he wants to have a receiver with SSB though, so he'll spend, of course, more. Robert T. Bush, nice to have you here. Try looking into Cash App for a donation. It is on Bitcoin platform through Square Inc., I believe. Okay, check it out. No, I do not have a Bitcoin wallet. I never dabbled into the Bitcoin stuff. Kimberly says, did you mention you have a PO box? If so, you post that in the show description or so. I don't have a post office box. Usually it's my own postal address, but I will not post it here. But I would you know, anybody that wants to do a donation, I can give out the address and they can send through snail mail. Matt says this is a week that's halfway between summer solstice and autumnal equinox. Just to give folks an idea. Yeah, we are pretty much halfway here. It's incredible how time flies. Yeah, Rocket Tech guy, you know, conditions are different in every season, and that's the thing, because one of the aspects of shortwave that a lot of people have a little difficulty understanding is, of course, the changing of the seasons. You know, the changing of the propagation with every week that goes by, and winter or summer, or you know, and you get used to a propagation from a certain time, and then you know, move on to some other period, and you're like, you know, weird, I don't receive the same signals, or it's not the same thing that, you know, I got 6 months ago. But you know, in general, you gotta understand that summertime, the longer days, and the fact that there's increased ionization and there's increased absorption. What happens is that you actually have the midday reception is usually not very good, but evening, night is often very, very nice. So that's something that to think about. Of course, wintertime is, you know, a different story. Wintertime here, for example, almost all day it's good. You know, there's something to listen to, and each season brings its own, you know, propagation and its own stations and own way of, you know, basically of receiving specific stations. That's why I always mention, you know, some stations are winter stations, some stations are summer stations, because the changing propagation does that. You know, like for me, Radio New Zealand is my summer station, because right now it comes in the evening here on 13840 really good in the summertime, and as we'll move on to fall, slowly the signal will fade, and in the wintertime the evening is no good for me for Radio New Zealand anymore, you know. So that's why I always have, you know, summer stations, winter stations. Yeah, Chris, before you know it, it will be Christmas. Absolutely. Time just goes so fast, you know. Don't worry, I won't post my address online. I can tell you that. Todd Schmidt, nice to have you on board. A1DJK, I wish you would wish it's winter. God thanks, those high temperature in Germany of over 40 Celsius are gone now. Back to normal 25. We had the, I think they said in the weather that we had the third warmest July ever in Montreal since the records began. It's been pretty hot here too. Not as hot as you guys. You guys in Europe really got a beating, but pretty hot. Yeah, Bro Reaver, absolutely. Weirdos, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You know, I just looked, Bro Reaver, at the way that things happen on my channels. And I can tell you, there's a lot of nut jobs out there. I can tell you that. Todd Schmidt says, just bought a Sanjian ISS S606 and a Degen 1103 equivalent on eBay. PLL Brother radio, the KA 1103 by Kato. What do you think of those radios? Got them both. You'll be very happy with KA 1103 because it is the same as the Degen DE 1103. Great radio. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's a little awkward, but it's a nice radio. The Sanjian 606. I don't have a lot of info on it, but it seems to be an interesting radio. So I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of fun. But the K1103, you're definitely gonna like. That I know. You're gonna find it really nice. In winter and summertime, you different preferred reception directions. Yeah, you know, things change. You know, propagation change. Like the tech guy says, air conditioners and red lights make local noise level here S9. Oh wow, S9. That's really making it difficult. You know, that's the problem with a lot of the reception. Also, sometimes I will see people saying, well, you know, propagation is crappy. But you start looking at their noise level, and you understand that a lot of the signals are there, but the noise level is so high that you don't hear the signals that are there. And you know, that's where going to Little D Expedition or going somewhere with your radios is nice, because you you know, go where the noise is lower, and suddenly you notice that there's tons of things on shortwave. It's the noise that's just preventing you from getting them. Schmidt also picked up an excellent C-Crane shortwave. Cool. Matt says there were stations I was getting midday last summer and the summer before, but the QSY and K-chain transmitter locations. One was NHK Japan, NADA this year. That also is something, because you know, there are, depending on the seasons, of course, stations change frequencies, and sometimes that change in frequency is a good change and you get reception. For example, this summer, what I like is the BBC 7300 is amazingly good to Montreal, East Coast of North America at least, on 7300, and that's kind of cool. But you know, they're going to change that frequency when we get to the new schedules, and probably I'll lose that reception. But you know, it's what's sad is next year maybe they're not going to use that frequency. I'm not going to hear them very well, you know. So sometimes we are out of luck because stations change the frequency that was good to us, and it's gone. Yeah, it's getting very hard, absolutely, to get the PLL version of the Degen D1103 now. More and more. WF7I, do you record TV programs over the air via antenna? If so, what systems do you use? I don't really, you know, I got cable here, and I don't do really any over-the-air TV listening or anything. So equalizer. Keep living the dream and pointing that beam. I like that. Nice to have you here. Keegan says nothing on 145 yet. No, you should have it in at your location about half an hour. You're still at half an hour before you'll get it, Keegan. Because the International Space Station has to be over you in order to listen and hear it. So you got to track it, and Well, you should have, where you are, Keegan, you should have a good pass in 30 minutes. The 606 is a rebrand of the Radio Shack DX399. Huh, interesting. But go to Heavens Above. Yeah, that's a great place to check it out. Like Matt says, heavensabove.com, and put your location in there, and you will see when the International Space Station is over your location. Terry Cook says, has anyone tried an X-phase noise reducer? Matt says, one thing that list defaults to visible passes. You have to choose all passes. Oh yeah, that's important. Because one of the biggest problems with passes, it's like using the app, Heavens Above. For those that do use the app, you got to go into the settings and tell it that you want to have all passes, not just visible passes. That's why you got that time. It's because that's a visible pass. When you see it with your eyes, it has to be dark, but you will have a pass in roughly 30 minutes. I'm going to tell you what to listen to. Keep your radio on 145-800, and I'm going to tell you when it gets there. I'm going to tell you, Keegan, you should hear it. Oh, Global 24 was a bad decision. Everything was thought out badly, you know. And from what I understand, is they haven't paid any of their bills, and they still owe that money to WRMI. Bobby Burgess says, anyone ever uploaded POCSAG or Flex pager decoding videos and got in trouble? Not that I know of. You got to be careful. It depends on what is posted there. You know, sometimes it could be a phone number or something. But Richard Cook, nice to have you on board. And he's receiving Cuban numbers 16180. No, Radio Shack doesn't. Well, Radio Shack doesn't exist anymore, so there's no more. There's no more of these radios. There's no more line of Radio Shack receivers or anything. That doesn't exist anymore. Matt says, in North America, I think the BBC 0400 broadcast from Madagascar is the best, but that's midnight for people like, yeah. I don't. I actually don't have a great reception of that one. I've tried the frequencies at midnight, and I don't have really good reception. Here on the East Coast, definitely the 0 to 01 UT 7300 is really good. Yeah, because the DGen 1103 comes in two versions. One is the DSP version and one's the old PLL version, and you kind of want to have the old PLL version. That one is better. Oh, it is fun, WF7i. Do install some software. You will have a lot of fun decoding the pictures, that's for sure. I've seen some reviews of the Chinese MLA30 mag loop, which is very inexpensive compared to, say, the W6LVP loop. And almost everybody that I've seen using it seemed to be very happy, and it seems to work quite well. Yeah, the time on Heavens Above is local. You got to be careful not to mix it with You got to be careful not to mix it with UTC. It's very important. Just gonna check here. Is everything all right? Okay. Doogie, nice to have you on board from Brisbane, Australia. Been shortwave listening for over 40 years. I'm radio operator for 29. Rather listen to the bands across the HF than chit chat. Nice to have you here. Welcome aboard from the other side of the world. WF7I says used to decode some ISS SSTV nets on 20 meters many years ago. And there's still some around 14230, roughly. Eduardo Montero, nice to have you on board from Rio de Janeiro. Nice to have you here, Eddie. Jerry K, thinking about the ICOM 7300 transceiver. Everybody that has it is very happy. It seems to be a really good price versus performance transceiver. Pretty much everybody I know that has it is has been happy with it. Touchman says, done buying portable shortwave now, looking at SDR. What is a good starter SDR that my Windows PC can run? I would definitely, if you have one to buy, the SDR Play RSP1A is really amazing. Really amazing. Todd, yeah, I looked at. I didn't have time to look at them. I saw that you got some PDFs and electronics and stuff, but I'll get back at you. But thanks for sending them. I will actually download the PDFs on my tablet, my 10-inch tablet, and read that. I always enjoy reading all sorts of PDFs that have to do with radio and stuff. So thanks for sending them out. Calvin, I was a karaoke. Well, yesterday wasn't karaoke. It was really my brother's birthday party at his place. But I was at the karaoke on Thursday night. I did sing a few songs and have fun. Richard Cook says a pirate on 6275 right now. So take care, PLF Radio. It's nice to have you here as usual. Yeah, Bobby. I was at Zoe on karaoke on Thursday. I actually tried out. They have the Zoe karaoke as a private room for 18 people that you can rent for karaoke and do a little private party. And he's got musical instruments. It's kind of nice. No problem, Todd. Thanks for sending. I put that on my tablet and it's interesting. Do some reading. By the way, for those that, let me just check it out here. Don't forget, guys, that of course we are in a new month. Just turn on my 10-inch tablet. That there's the August spectrum monitor that is now available. Just going to show you guys the cover once my tablet is started. What beer I'm on? I started off with a white beer, Blanche de Chambly. Now I'm at the Don de Dieu, which is the gift from God, and taking it a little easy because I did come back quite late this morning. Todd, so I missed the show yesterday. I was pissed, and here we are. Shows you how much, there was no show yesterday, so you didn't miss anything. D1 DJK, when you do karaoke here near my flat, please come in and ask you to be quiet. So Calvin's on cider. Cool. It's good. I enjoy cider. So I'll put this like this. So the ISS slowly creeping up. We'll try to stay live until the pass. Pagemaster, nice to have you here. Since I sent reception reports to Voice of Vietnam and Radio Slovakia. Cool. You'll get QSL cards. Voice of Vietnam, which is nice also, is that they not only do they QSL, but once you write to them at least once, they actually usually send you a Happy New Year card every year. I don't know if they still do that. I think they do. I've received a Happy New Year card from them like for years. I need to check it out. So we're of course looking at some decoding of slow scan TV from the International Space Station. Gary Thornton, Sanjian ATS 909X or Texan 880. I would, the 909X is a little bit deaf just with the telescopic, but if you want to have a radio that you can put on a wire antenna outdoors, it's a great radio for that. Texan 880 is maybe a little more sensitive. Whatever you choose, I think you'll be happy anyway. Calvin, are you getting on the SDR Play? I have the Pro 2, but I find it good on Windows, but Mac and Raspberry Pi, the software like Cubic SDR seems to be rubbish. Yeah, that is the problem with SDR Play devices right now, is that the software for other platforms is kind of bad. On Windows, I use SDR Uno, and it's just great. But definitely on other platforms, the software, most people, that's the #1 complaint. But hang in there, because I know that the next version of SDR Uno is supposed to be released for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So that would be nice, because that means every platform will be supported pretty much with the software. What you could do, Calvin, suggestion maybe would be to use the what is it called, the I'm trying to remember the name, but you can use Parallel, but there's that free version also of that you can run Windows in and have it run through virtualization in a window with Windows 10 or something, and have that SDR Uno software on your Mac. But definitely when you're not on Windows, it's not as great. But apparently the next version will be, from what I hear, Windows, Mac, Linux, which will be very, very good. Pagemaster sent them my station's QSL card. Cool. Jay Townsend, nice to have you here. Nothing in my apartment but a 10-minute walk to the park, and I can listen to Indonesia, Madagascar, Bolivia, Russia. The thing is, once you get no noise, you get tons of signals. Fortunately, we live in a world where our noise levels are just, very, very high. And we got to find places where the noise level is lower. J. Townsend says XH Data D808 is my new Betty. Great radio for the buck, especially for shortwave and airband. It's an amazing radio. The XH Data D808, I'm so surprised. Shitty Pyro 90, nice to have you here. Andy Colley says wiring for Mac. Huh. I've seen some people with SDR on Chromebooks, but is it really good? I'm not sure. Only JK, always happy to radio left-hand jaw. The S350DL stays my #1 without compromise. Yeah, that one's the S450. This one is the S350, and they're nice radios. They're nice radios, absolutely. So you're watching the Shortwave radio show, and we are live exceptionally on a Saturday today. Hope that you enjoy the show. Just checking out something here. Keegan has a Grundig S450 DLX. What I find sad of the S450 DLX, because unfortunately it is a nice radio, but there's so much problems with the quality of the S450 DLX. It's always, some people bought it and it was already not working well from the start. So you know, that's the problem. The quality control seems to be bad on the Grundig S450. Take care, Matt. Have fun. Tosh Mitchell, you had a video on the DGen 1103 versus the XH Data. I wonder what your thoughts on that are today. You know, the XH Data has one amazing feature, is the fact that it has so much flexibility to the reception, you know, with all the bandwidths and stuff. They each have, you know, they both perform well. The DGen 1103 and the XH Data both perform well. Stephen Hayes, nice to have you here. Steve, G0STE, pretty cool, from London. Yeah, no, there was no show yesterday, GG Pyro, so you didn't miss anything. We'll be back on the regular Friday slot next Friday. Attachment, my Grundig G1000A was picking up VOA on the driveway off the antenna at 2 p.m. Blows my mind. So, anything else here? Hey guys, we're going to call it a little short tonight. I would guess. We're going to wait for the space station at like 6:15, and then we'll turn things down. Hey Sheldon, nice to have you here from Greenfield Park. No problem at all. Chris Freitas says Bobby Burgess is using Linux on his laptop. Chris Freitas says on my Chromebook GQRX is a bit laggy at times, partly because of the low specs and software. That's the problem. That's the problem with a lot of the Chromebooks, is the fact that the specifications of those machines aren't very powerful. So it is a little bit sluggish sometimes. Paul was here a little earlier. You missed him. He was he came here for about 20 minutes. Rodelva65, nice to have you here. So in roughly half an hour, less than half an hour, we'll have Slow Scan TV from the ISS. We're going to try that. Calvin says, moved QTH, so been missing for a bit. Set all the radios. Yeah, when we move, we have to set things up again. Shitty Pyro 90 says, got a good SSTV image from the International Space Station as it flew overhead my location. Cool. You know, yeah, last night I had I brought the ICOM ICR20 with me to my brother's birthday party, and there were 2 passes last night, and I had a really amazing reception just with the telescopic on the portable ICOM ICR20, and people were impressed because I was showing him that I could decode the image on my phone using Robot 36, and people found it so cool. And one thing that happened yesterday that was really cool was that for the first time ever, I had visual of the International Space Station. I could see it go across the sky, and I could also receive it on the radio at the same time, which is like, wow. Attachment, they made cats, and they made Paul. He's the cool cat, aka DX. Yeah, he's so nice. Yeah, I saw the skunk. What was it? Wednesday, I think. I was looking at it. The skunk was in the backyard. They seem to be friends. It's kind of weird. Just over at New House. No ISS pass today here. Got a lot of images from local contests. Cool. At least that's cool. So yeah, the Paul was here earlier in the show. He came about I don't know, half an hour ago or a little more. He came and said a little hi. He was very affectionate. It was kind of nice. Like I said, Keegan, in about 10 minutes you're going to have a pass over your area. It's getting towards your area, not very long. It's in the Pacific Ocean right now, pretty much mid-Pacific Ocean, and it's getting up to the West Coast, and in 10 minutes roughly. Douglas Perry, nice to have you here. Mad Radio DXer, nice to have you on board. Chris Freitas, Chromebooks are definitely fine for everything else, but Linux running on Chrome OS is still in beta. Ideally, I want to have the feature to sideload Android apps, so SDR Touch could work. The problem with SDR Touch is that it's difficult to have it working well sometimes, and it's, it doesn't work all the time with everything. For example, SDR Touch on my tablet, I can't use my SDR. My RTL SDR doesn't want to work for a reason that I don't know, but it does on my my phone, So it's kind of weird. What else do we have? So I'm just going to show you guys. We are in August, and we do have the August. Whoops, that's the 2018. Need to go back. We do have the Spectrum Monitor. For those that don't know what that magazine is all about, Spectrum Monitor is pretty much a direct replacement to Monitoring Times. So this is, of course, the August edition of the Spectrum Monitor. So a nice, pretty nice magazine. If you anybody that remembers Monitoring Times, you'll love Spectrum Monitors. It's Monitoring Times in an electronic form, pretty much. so it's really nice. Yeah, dual booting definitely works better. When you run it in virtualization, you know, that's the problem. Often you know, the computer's gotta run your operating system, plus run the virtualization of Linux or whatever, and it often makes it slow. D1 DJK. Take care. See you next Friday, D1 DJK. Lisa in Greenwich, nice to have you on board. Yes, it is nice to see the International Space Station. Have a visual. It's always nice. Shevin Harvey working on the August CIDX Messenger, and he's hope to have it out soon. Of course, you can ask for a sample copy if you haven't done so. CIDXclub@yahoo.com, and it's a very, very nice little bulletin. So this is going to be nice. And of course, Sheldon, will see each other tomorrow in the International Radio Report. So you guys, you can stream CKUT 90.3 FM and listen to us at 14:30 UTC for the International Radio Report, which is always fun. Keegan says, my dad's transmitting on CW at this time, so I may try to hear the ISS transmission later on. Okay. Okay. But check it out. Maybe you'll be surprised that it usually packs a good signal. Jay Thompson says, I used SDR Touch with my RSP2 on Android Sol and it worked well. I'll try and use it on Android tablet to the same brand. It's a question of device. Some devices work well with these and some don't. So, you know. So hey guys, on the West Coast, the ISS is almost there. The ground track is close to California. A couple of minutes and you guys are going to start being able to decode the slow scan TV. Here it's going to be here in about 15 minutes, and we're going to of course try to decode the pictures like we did. So it's going to be interesting. Todd Schmidt, how well will Magloop like the MLA work in my attic? Thinking about getting the SDR and putting the MLA up there. You know, I got the W6 LVP loop here, and it's helped me improve my reception. I can tell you that. So it could be interesting, but it's not a miracle antenna. Also, if there's a lot of noise, it's, you know, there's no miracle on mag loops also at the same time. Chris Frittis, I've yet to encounter problems with SDR Touch on my Pixel 3 XL, but it acts up on my Amazon Smart TV. Sheldon Harvey, take care, and of course tomorrow morning, 14:30 UT, of course. What else do we have? Hey Tim Robinson, nice to have you here from the UK. Hope you are well, my friend. How's your new 100 footer doing? Well, actually it's the W6S LVP loop. I still have the sloper. So it's right now I still have my sloper, which is a roughly 80 feet sloper in the back. I haven't done much, changed it, but I do have the mag loop now. I have my amplified W6LVP magnetic loop. That is pretty surprising. So right now the setup is the Yaesu here has the sloper, the SDR here, the RSP1A has the magnetic loop. Madrid DXer says, I use mag loop in my flat, which works good, so in the attic will work just as well. Chris Freitas, well, I actually had no idea it could be loaded on SD card. Does it still show that developer mode message anytime you reboot? Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. What else do we have? Bro Weaver, take care, my friends. See you next Friday. No, I'm taking it easy tonight. Taking it easy tonight. I am really tired from last night's party. Jero Sombra Nuance uses GQRX with Linux and his i3 runs smoothly. Raspberry Pi 3 ARM device GQRX runs, but its processor and memory hungry. Yeah. F7i Homebrew, Joel, do you have much experience with DMR, System Fusion, or some other VHF, UHF digital modes being used on ham bands? I've not gotten up to speed on any of these. No, I have not also been up to speed on any of that yet, and I really need to do so because I need to learn more about all of this for sure. Thanks, Todd. I am going to try to get to that for sure because I find it interesting, and it's an aspect of radio I haven't done yet. And one thing that I've been a little lazy is I've seen a lot of stuff happening on using an RSP1A or a SDR Play SDR and decoding some of these modes. I need to check that out definitely. Ernie Turner, nice to have you on board from Southern Australia. 8 a.m. cold wet. VK3DET, nice to have you here from Sunday morning. Nice to have you here. Hey, Carolee Burkett, nice to have you here. We're going to decode the International Space Station, and then we will head off. Oh, the party was nice. The party was really nice, but came back home at 6 a.m. this morning. So the guy is tired. I am doing the show like on radar mode. I'm like a zombie doing a show right now. You need another beer. If you've noticed, I'm not drinking very fast right now. WF7i Homebrew, I think it is WRMI that has the ham radio program with Bob Hale and Gordon West. They were talking about DMR on those modes. Yeah, no, it's not WRMI. It's I know the show you're talking about. I think it's WTWW, if I'm not mistaken, that has that show. Yeah, I hope your wife is well, Tim, for sure. Oh man, it was crazy. I came back home with the sun in my face. It's like, you know, that's the worst in the summer. When you do something like that, you come back home and it's sunny because the sun gets, you know. Hey Jerry, 18 degrees. Yeah, it's pretty much over your area right now. You should try it. So the International Space Station is on the West Coast. I am going to start SSTV, and we're going to see if we can decode a picture, a nice picture again. Here we go. There we go. So for those that didn't see it, I'm just going to show you guys that this is what we received an hour and a half ago. That's the beautiful picture that I've got here in that pass live. So hopefully we'll have something that's going to be a good decode. Also, yeah, the beard does have cat hair in it, Patrick, for sure. Yeah, that decode was really nice. It was perfect. So the International Space Station is going to be here in about 10 minutes, a little less than that. You guys on the West Coast are probably decoding it. It's on the West Coast of North America right now. So we're going to try it again. Of course, hopefully have another nice decode. It's not a very high pass on this one. Also, it's if I look here at Evans above, it says that the pass is going to be 27 degrees. So it's a low pass to the north. Low pass to the north. So hopefully at its peak around, above 20. Usually what I've noticed with my my vertical antenna is above 20 degrees, I tend to have an okay signal. So let's hope that it's going to be good enough. Tim Robinson, yeah, I saw that. You seem to be having a lot of fun with that 3D printer. I'd like one eventually. They look fun to play with. They really look fun to play with. Terry DX did an all-nighter too, getting ready to do it all over again. Yeah, for work. Todd, Jill, you should open a store on here and sell t-shirts. The guy who does the report of the week has a store and I'd buy Jill stuff. Yeah, I dabble and I thought about these things. It would have to be a way that I don't have to be kind of automatic. Use something that I don't have to take care of the shipping or anything, and do some kind of design with maybe Paul the Cat on the radio and stuff like that. Yeah, I am running on radar, I can tell you that. So yeah, we'll put it once again, paypal.me/shortwave, or send it to the Yahoo email. And of course there's Patreon, where you can give a little something. Patreon.com/radio and computers. And thanks for all of those that have donated. Oh, that'd be nice, a t-shirt with number station frequencies. Everybody would ask you, what is that? T-shirt with number stations. Yeah, WF7I, because I heard that program. I know what you're talking about. And I'm pretty sure it was WTWW that had that program. I remember it was very interesting to listen to. Don't worry, Tim. There's no obligations whatsoever. I've already been really generous, Tim. I can tell you that. Here it is. It's pretty weak right now, but hopefully we'll get something. I'm starting to receive the International Space Station here. So hopefully, let's cross our fingers to get a good enough signal. Let's cross our fingers to get a good enough signal to get the picture. Hey Butterbean, nice to have you here. Jay Townsend says conducted some tests with the MLA 30 and it was frustrating. Its low noise amplifier produces a very high white noise. I'll give it another choice though. We want to learn more. When you get more information, let us know. That picture is not very good. Hopefully the next signal is getting a little better. Todd. Cool. C'est bien. C'est toujours agréable. Wagner Ferreira Alves, nice to have you on board from Brazil. J1000 shared link to our channel on the Rodada dos Radio Escutas, DXing and radio listening dedicated group. Cool. Cool. So we'll wait for the restart of the SlowScan TV. The ISS is now covering a big chunk of North America, and it's going to pass to my north pretty much. So we are of course decoding International Space Station pictures. Hopefully the next one, we got a little bit of the tail end of that picture with RS0 ISS ID on it. So International Space Station sending pictures up to tomorrow. 145.800 is the frequency, plus or minus Doppler, so a couple of kilohertz up and down. They have a 1 minute, kind of a 1 minute pause before they restart them with every picture. So if you hear nothing, hang in there and listen, because it might be just in between two pictures. So yeah, somebody asked me earlier what happened to my old computer. Well, it's here. This is the computer I was using to stream and do videos. It still works great, but I've changed it. It's become a Windows Insider machine. So Amazing decode once again. Perfect picture like the other one. It's not bad for a pass that's just like about 25 degrees. Really nice decode. So this is picture 10 out of 12. Really nice. This is really nice. Wow. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, Acer Nitro 5. Really, really nice. Mad Radio DXer. So this is a Acer Nitro 5 gaming laptop. It has a 512 gigabyte SSD coupled with a 1 terabyte regular hard drive. It is a 9th generation Core i5 Intel CPU. 9th generation is brand new. It came out like this in March or April or something. So it's really the latest Core i5. This was a i5 also, but this one is like 3rd generation i5 or something. And it has a dedicated NVIDIA GTX 1050 graphics processor with 4 gigabytes of RAM dedicated to the graphics adapter, and it is amazingly fast. I'm so surprised. And getting the dedicated GPU is really, really nice for gaming, and I've ran some demos. There's a website, Pouet.net, Pouet.net. They have demos, and it just runs so well. So it just started again, but now it's way too low to get anything. It's very, very weak now. Coaster 2301 got 812 pretty clean. Cool. Oh yeah, it's really nice, Mad Radio DXer. It's really amazing. And actually, this is my old laptop, and it was pretty powerful. But when I came to the gaming laptop and went back here to do something, it's like, oh wow, that computer's so slow now. Yeah. Well, you know, I like to. I like computers, but I'm not the kind of guy that likes to buy new computers all the time. You know, some people like that. I like to have a lot of bang for the money. You know, run the computer for as long as I can before really having to upgrade it. But yeah, this and I had to. I mean, this was now getting to the limits of its capabilities. To give you guys an idea, on streaming on this, Wirecast was actually giving me 70%, 80% CPU usage while I was doing the show. And to give you an idea here on this one, right now it's using 24%. So it gives you an idea of, you know, this thing performs much better. Cat pictures from the International Space Station. That would be nice. Astronaut cats. Have a great weekend, Todd. See you Friday, 2000 hours UTC is the next show on Friday. Jersey bound. Nice to have you here, my friend. KD2JGH. Have a great weekend. So, let's take a look one last time to our decode for today. That was really amazing. So the first picture that I got today was this one, which was very, very beautiful. That was about half an hour after the show started. Decoding live, we had that. And this is the picture that we just decoded now, which is very, very nice for a 25-degree pass. It's just beautiful. Beautiful. You know, we buy a powerful computer, we actually can use it for quite a while, honestly. Oh, really, Shitty Power? You got 2 QSL cards from All Audio Radio. Cool. Congratulations. Casey Red Dragon, nice to have you here. So thanks, everybody, for being here. I'm going to call it quits for tonight after 2 hours and 20 minutes. Hope you enjoyed the show. I am still in zombie mode. And I will kind of take it really easy for the rest of the evening. Hey, David. Nice to have you here. Unfortunately, we're kind of moving off. You know, David, the International Space Station is giving you a pass in a couple of minutes for in your area if you want to decode slow scan TV pictures. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for everybody that joined, and your guys are, of course, really, really great. We'll see each other Friday, August 9th. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you Friday at 2000 hours UTC. Take care, my friends. Always nice to have you on board. And see you soon. Bye-bye.